Hello all, I'm Sai and in today's video, I'm going to talk about my experience after doing positivity journaling for 31 days. Yeah, I actually did it for 31 days and just for a round number, I gave 30 days in the thumbnail and title. I did it throughout October and in this video, I'm going to talk about all the insights and effects of this type of journaling. And the basic idea for doing this kind of journaling was brought into me after reading this book called Manifest 7 Steps to Living Your Best Life by Roxie Nafousi. I have a dedicated review video for this book already out in the channel. I'll link it in the iCard just as in the description, so do check it out if you're interested. It's definitely an amazing book. And the basic concept of positivity journaling is that you need to write each and every good thing that happened to you throughout the day at the end of the day in your journal, notebook or whatever thing that you're writing it down in. And this sounded kind of interesting to me because I'm already doing journaling of my own for the past 2.5 years. And I just wanted to try this and see what kind of effect it has on me. And I think October was the best month to do it because knowingly or unknowingly, it was a super hectic month for me. Despite that, I was highly functional and I did not feel that much burnt out. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how I did this journaling and what are all the insights I got after doing it. So without any further ado, let's get into the video right away. First, I'll tell you guys how I did this and customized it for myself. Now to start with, I'm not a person who doesn't do journaling at all. I do my own journaling and it takes up 15 to 20 minutes of my day, both morning and night put together. So if I'm going to do this other type of journaling, which is completely on its own, and it just talks about the positive stuff alone, I'm sure that it will take a lot more time out of my day. It easily took 15 to 20 minutes extra for me each and every day. So one thing which I decided was to write down only really positive things and good things that happened out of nowhere in that particular day. For example, I'm a person who has to commute to work each and every day when I'm working from office and I have to take both a train as well as a bus. So as an example for this one, I'd say when I start my commute itself, if I get a seat, it will give me a bit more time to read, which is usually what I do during my commute. And I can write that one as a positive thing that happened to me in that particular day. So in this way, anything that happened that added value for my day and reduced friction in my day was considered as one thing which I noted down in my positivity journal. And trust me, I could not believe I got a lot of moments each and every day for all those 31 days, no matter how bad the day felt at the end for me, because there was something that was going on good each and every day. It's just that our minds are more prone to sticking to negative things and thinking over and over about them. But after doing this one, trust me, that particular month when I did this journaling was definitely a super intense and hectic month for me in terms of work. But at the end of every day, I did not feel burnt out or tired at all. I just felt a lot energized because I was able to look back and see all the good things that happened. So let's move on to the insights, and I have like 5 or 6 things that I'd like to talk to you about. Let's dive into them now. So number one insight which I got is the highlights throughout the day. Okay, this is basically just like seeing all the highlights inside a cricket match in which our team actually lost. Okay, it's not that when we lose a match, it is like each and every player inside the match did everything wrong and the whole thing was a huge big mess. Most of the times it is not like that, right? There's at least 1 or 2 players who played well, and just because of some reasons and just because things happen, we might have ended up losing the match. In the same way, throughout our day also, there are both good things and bad things that happen to us. Even in a huge day which feels like a terrific failure for us, sometimes a lot of good things have happened within that same single day itself. And what happens is, since one thing which seems huge to us has gone in a way that we didn't like it to, we term it as a bad day and just put a label saying that nothing good happened in that. But after I started doing this journaling, I was able to see that there have been a lot of good things. It's just that I did not care enough to pay attention to them and acknowledge them properly. This happens very easily because while you're doing this kind of journaling, there is no space for negativity at all. You're just going to write all the good things alone about your life in that particular day and you're not going to write anything negative at all. It's basically like hyper focusing on only the positive aspects of your life at any given moment. I can understand that to start with it will be very difficult because all of us are due to negativity more than positivity in our lives just because of the way in which the world is right now. But it's definitely an insight that I got because it literally felt like I was seeing the highlights throughout the day at the end of the day while I was writing down only the positive stuff about that particular day. The second insight which I got is definitely a super productive one for me, and it is that I was able to identify small little micro chunks of time that are distributed throughout the day. Okay, for example, each and every one of us when we are working, we take little breaks, right? And during that break, it's not like each and every day we need that break in order to work efficiently. Sometimes we just have a break by default and we take it. And if the day in particular is hectic for us, we need that break and we use it to unwind. And there are other days during which the work is not that hectic, it is just normal and we can easily handle it even without that break. But during that time when we get a break, what we can do is we can take a small chunk out of that break and use it to do something that is productive for us. For example, I am publishing one reel each and every day throughout this month, that is November, and the idea or script for each and every one of these reels or shorts were created by me during those small chunks that I got throughout the day only. It's not like I allotted a specific amount of time each and every day in order to just list out all the books that I'm going to talk about in each and every one of the reels. I was able to find small chunks of time here and there as a result of my good mood or good things that were happening to me throughout the day. And when we can utilize those small chunks of time in order to do whatever we can, how much ever we can, no matter how small it is, it will only add up to something which is much bigger than that small chunk of time when gathered over a long period. And one lesson which I strongly got is that productivity is not always linear, and it's not like all of us have the liberty to split our day into small chunks and just decide that I'm going to do my work during this time only and I'm going to do other stuff during this time only. Most of the things in our lives are just intertwined, and this journaling definitely helped me identify those small chunks of time that are distributed everywhere and make use of them separately according to the time that is available, so that when put together it all forms a beautiful big picture. The next insight is basically the most important thing which I learned, okay? And I'm sure that anyone who does this kind of journaling will be able to identify this about their life more than anything. And it is that at the end of the day, it's mostly just a good day, and very rarely do we have very bad days, okay? What usually happens is when we do 100 different things in a day, 10 of those things might work out wonderfully for us, and the 11th thing might end up as a failure. And what we do usually as human beings is that we just start ruminating on the one bad thing that happened, and just using our thoughts itself, we ruin the entire rest of the day for ourselves. And that rumination can cause a lot of negative effects only for us and not for anyone around us. It's not like that one single task which failed is alone being affected. It's also going to affect all the other things that you're going to do for the rest of the day. And it might even hold you back from doing all the great things and even experiencing the good things that might happen for you during the rest of the day just because you are ruminating on them. Just like everyone out there, I'm also a huge ruminator. So when good things happen, we process them very quickly. But when bad things happen, we don't allow ourselves to process them quickly at all. We latch onto them, we ruminate over and over, and we spoil the rest of the day for ourselves. It's not the problem's fault. It is our fault for not dealing with it in the proper way and ruminating over and over about it. The next one is something which all of us need to be taught more of from our childhood itself, but for some reason we are not taught about it enough at all, and it is to relish and celebrate each and every good thing that happens to you, okay? There was this particular day which I identified during journaling that the sambar that was started in my home was super delicious and exquisite. I am from Chennai and sambar is not a special dish for us. It happens at least 3 to 4 times a week, no matter who you are and no matter where you live in South India. So if you're South Indian, you know how basic and common sambar is for us. And there was this particular day during which the sambar was just excellent, okay? And I wrote it down in my journal, but while I ate that sambar and the side dish which was the potato fry for that particular day, it just felt heavenly to eat it during that time. But when I was writing the journal only, I was able to understand that I ate that food just in the same way I would eat any other normal food also. For example, a normal sambar would also have been eaten by me in the same way, no matter how not good it is. So you see what is the common thing between the last one and this one, right? We tend to latch out to negative stuff that happen to us, no matter how small they are, but we don't even care enough to acknowledge the small good things that happen to us. I don't know when I'll get to eat another sambar like that in my own, but that particular moment has passed. Okay, even though it was good, I did not make any effort to make it last longer, and only because of this journey, I was able to identify that even though the good moment was there and even though I felt it, I in no way made any effort to prolong it in any way at all, even though it was very easy. It's not like I have to sit down and eat for the rest of the day. I could just take 5 extra minutes and relish each and every bowl of rice that I ate, but I did not. I just ate it in the same normal pace and I did not allow myself to enjoy it more. So that is definitely something that I learned, especially when it comes to food. When you get it good, just savor it, relish it, and take your time eating it. I'm not just saying it to you guys, but also myself. And the last insight that I'm going to share with you might sound a bit too sciencey, because I have learned about this thing called the RAS, which I like to call as RAS. And the full form of RAS is Reticular Activating System. All of us have a RAS in our brain, and the basic functionality of the RAS is to filter out all the unwanted information that we get and give us only the necessary information that needs to be perceived by us in order to keep us safe. To easily understand what a RAS does, just imagine yourself in a crowded room You are there and your friend is there at another side of the room. And there are a lot of people talking continuously and you're not able to see your friend, but your friend is able to see you. So they end up calling your name, and even amidst all the chaos and all that noise, you are able to filter out and hear that particular sound of your friend calling your name alone. It is not like all the other noise surrounding you has gone on mute in any way, but you're able to filter out all that unwanted noise and take in only the necessary information that you need so that you can respond to your friend properly. Right. So this is the basic functionality of the RAS. Whatever we pay attention to and whatever we ask to get answers for, our RAS or reticular activating system always tries to give an answer to it. So if we tune ourselves to a lot of positive changes in our lives, and when we start to acknowledge a lot of positive things happening in our lives, we just train our RAS or RAS to look forward and find more such good things and positive things in our life. Now this also overlaps with the concept of manifestation and the law of attraction. But since we are keeping all the things practical and scientific here and very understandable no matter who we are, I'm taking this route and telling you that this positivity journaling just helped me tune my RAS in a more positive way compared to a negative one. If you're someone who's interested in reading more about this, just go forward and search it on YouTube again. There are a lot of videos in which a lot of people talk about the RAS, which is the reticular activating system. And it's definitely something which we can make a great use of just by making certain small tweaks to our daily habits. And I can easily say that I have tuned my RAS to a much more positive direction by doing this positivity journaling continuously for 31 days. So at the end, all I'd like to say is, this 30 days or 31 days of positivity journaling was super helpful and insightful for me. And if you've not tried journaling before, I suggest you to start with this one because it will just help you identify and see all the good things about your life if you are under the impression that nothing is going right for you. I used to be like that 3 years back, and once I started journaling in a very basic way itself, I was able to identify all of the good things that were happening for me. And this one just hyper-focuses on the good things alone. So I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to identify all the great things that are going on in your life. You just need to give your attention to them. And I hope this video was useful for you. And if you did like watching it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also share it to your friends. And if you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.